Okay, guys, good morning. So, today we'll be discussing how partners should not dictate on how you should play the game and how you should progress in terms of improving the stats and combat effectiveness of your combatants. So, if you want to look at the partners that you own or you want to see, luckily they included like actual quality of life wherein instead of showing off the cards itself, it shows the entire model of the partners. So a lot of people, or I shouldn't say a lot of people, there are some people who think that rarities, be it 5 star or 4 star, dictate of how much they are effective as a partner towards a certain combatant. And this is not necessarily true. There are some partners wherein they are still effective as a combatant partner in comparison to 5 stars. I can't give you the exact example, but whenever you do consider choosing a partner for what combatant you are currently using, you shouldn't bottle yourself up towards rarity alone. So, here, if we look at specifically strikers, you can see there's a single 3 star striker partner, and his name is Douglas. Honestly, one of the better 3 star partners you can take, and quite frankly, looks pretty okay.
何か用か
Although he could be seem like you could say that people don't like how he looks, but you can't argue that he isn't an effective partner to own. Not only does he increase your combatant's attack by 8%, he also deals AoE damage. So in the event that you don't own him, or rather you don't own a partner that deals AoE damage, or you don't own a combatant that deals AoE damage, he could come in clutch by just using 2 ego points to deal AoE damage. So one partner that you could use, this happens before when Yuki was released, where Lilian didn't see much use, Ritochka hasn't seen that much use, so people opted to use Douglas instead, because not only you can simply max out his dupes quite easily, it's actually a more generic way to achieve some of the adventure quest or whatever you call that leveling quest. And quite frankly, that alone is enough. Because when you max out the level of each partner, it gives you flat stats. And these flat stats are able to improve your character's damage. Although it might not seem much to you. How the game currently is, because we are at the point where flat stats we currently have, or at least the base stats of each combatant currently has, attack percent may not seem to be the best option to prioritize. So you should not fret that you don't own 5 star partners. Like, for example, currently my Haru uses Douglas as his main combatant partner. And people argue that owning or spending pulls for partners such as this, which is specifically catered for Haru's gameplay, could improve it. I personally would say that, are you willing to invest 70 pulls at most, since there is no like 50-50 for the partner banners? Are you willing to invest that much resources towards it? So whenever you try to consider not only how the pull economy you currently have for the game, as well as the amount of resources, are you willing to double down in spending more resources? And are you willing to do the purchases to use for one specific partner? Whereas if you consider doing like the 3 star or the 4 star, wherein you can share between the characters and not have it be so heavily hyper fixated towards one partner. Like, one interesting aspect towards this, if we open up here, is that
班長だ
何かご用ですか?
partners. For using dupes towards your 3-star or 4-star partners, you can see it came from base 8% attack percent here, and then it increased all the way to 16. That's 100% increase. As well as at the start of the battle, the assigned combatant increases by 60% for one turn. That's a bonus thing that you can achieve just because you have a 3-star partner at hand. So when it comes to when it comes to choosing like a specific partner you want to use in your combatant, you shouldn't just focus on the rarity. You should always consider if the innate passive that they have is beneficial for the combatant you own, as well if the ego skill is good enough or is a key aspect to the partner that you want to use particularly. Most surprisingly of all, there have been people who only use level 1 partners and neglect the fact that leveling each partner, or at least leveling the partner that you want to use, gives you a heavy stat boost. So that's pretty much it for this video. So the key takeaways here is that partner rarities are not the priority. You should always consider, once again, the partner passive, if it's beneficial, the ego skill, if you can consider it flexible enough to use, or it's very strong to use, like Nyx, for example, who's a controller partners that gives you like card draws, really good, and as well as a partner level. I'm surprised people neglect the partner level despite there being like a quest line towards it. So that's it for the video. I think that in the previous video we were talking about how Calipe, for example, the partners that I use for is specifically like just a 3-star with max dupes, and this is enough in my opinion. Although there could be like better options, such as, there could be like better options to use for Calipe herself, like Zeta. I think this is her intended partner to use since it has defense-based percent damage and specifically instinct cards. This is really good for her, don't get me wrong. And as well as look at her ego skill, this partners really well with Calipe. So imagine if you get her vulture ejection, just using 2 ego skill, amazing. So another important thing for people to consider is that in the event that you don't want to use in the event that you don't feel like using this moment of Radiant Hero for a dupe of a character or for pulls, you should consider buying a partner for your specific most used combatant. You only get 1 per month, so this is a really good consideration to do. Not only does it give you like a specific boost that you intend to use for that partner, like I know it sounds like very contrarian of me to suggest this, to make it into a very specific character, but you should consider that if you do plan to invest, and honestly, quite frankly, you should consider it, maybe you should purchase some of these things. So that's it for the video. I hope you take some pondering insights from myself, and see you in the next video, guys. Thank you.